last week. Josh Sweat is really showing himself to be a potential star. We know we didn't have Derek Barnett last week, but Josh Sweat said, okay, who that? I'm Josh Sweat. I'm about to have Jared Sweat. So Josh, have Jared Sweat, and I think we would definitely be able to put that pressure up front with our defensive line if we can keep them. That's what we're talking about, the defense right now. But our offense has to give our defense a break and get them some time off the field because we have to pressure Jared. I'm telling you, the Cowboys only put pressure on him 8% of the time. We have to do that way more if we want to knock Jared Goff out of his game. Yeah, yeah, welcome back to another video with me, guys. I'm so glad because I'm just happy to be here, guys. We got football, whether we win it or we lose it, we still get to see our team play. I know we came off a hard week, but we're coming into week 2, brand new, clean week. 1-1 ain't bad, but guys, we cannot go 0-2. That is just, y'all know that ain't good. So basically, I'm coming to bring you guys the Rams versus Eagles preview. Now, we know the Rams are now 1-0 after beating the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get a group hallelujah. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Guys, y'all know, beautiful. We took that L to Washington. I know that was a division game, but just the fact that the Rams served the Cowboys that L was it just made Sunday so much better. And then they weren't talking about us as much on the shows, the NFL shows. They were talking, is Dak a flop? It wasn't all just about wins. And they also gave us a blueprint for, what not to do against the Rams, and gave us some keys and tricks that the Rams were up to. So guys, let me start off by saying Nikhil is going to be playing his former team, the Rams, for the first time. So that's going to be interesting. He's going to get to say what's up to his old team. What's up? He's going to be like, what up? They're going to be like, what's up? But that's interesting that he's going to be playing his old team. But let's get into the key matchups, the analysis, because I love bringing you guys some analysis. So let's dig deep. Let's first start off with the Rams offense versus the Eagles defense. The offensive versus defensive matchups. Let's get into it. Let's start off by saying we have to pressure Jared Goff. Jared Goff ain't nobody when he's under pressure. Jared Goff is a regular, but the Cowboys defensive line made Jared Goff look like that dude. He had no sacks. I'm telling you, Everson Griffin and DeMarcus Lawrence looked so average playing against the Rams offensive line. But I will say the Rams offensive line did an amazing job of protecting Jared Goff. Jared Goff was only pressured 8% of the time. He was only met with pressure 8% of the time. 92% of the time, he had no pressure. And no pressure means you're going to look great. The Eagles, we have to put pressure up against Jared Goff. And I think that's something that we can do. We have to be much more ferocious than the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. Because I'm telling you, the Cowboys defensive line they went to sleep. I mean, Everson Griffin only had a couple of tackles. DeMarcus only had a couple of tackles. I want to say he only had one. We have to do better than that, and I think we will, because we have an X factor. I think a low-key superstar in Josh Sweat, who did have that sack against Dwayne Haskins last week. Josh Sweat is really showing himself to be a potential star. We know we didn't have Derek Barnett last week, but Josh Sweat said, okay, who that? I'm Josh Sweat. I'm about to have Jared Sweat. So Josh, have Jared Sweat, and I think we would definitely be able to put that pressure up front with our defensive line if we can keep them. That's what we're talking about, the defense right now. But our offense has to give our defense a break and get them some time off the field because we have to pressure Jared. I'm telling you, the Cowboys only put pressure on him 8% of the time. We have to do that way more if we want to knock Jared Goff out of his game. And of course, Andrew Whitworth, the offensive tackle for the Rams, is somebody we're going to have to slaughter and annihilate and get past him to get to Jared, because he does a great, exceptional job of protecting Jared Goff. Moving on, let's talk about some of Jared's weapons. And his number one weapon, his favorite target, Cooper Kupp. We have to be on lock. We have to be on watch for Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is their third down guy. Last season, Cooper Kupp had 7 touchdowns on third down, and he averaged 15 yards on third down. Cooper Kupp is one of Jared's favorite receivers, so we have to be on the watch out for Cooper Kupp and limit his action, especially if Jared is getting all the time in the world. He's definitely gonna be able to find Cooper as many times as he wants to, so we definitely have to limit that. I don't know if Darius Slay has matched up with Cooper before, but I will say that having Nikhil is really going to be awesome for us, because obviously Nikhil, that's his former team. He knows what these guys do. He's matched up with these wide receivers in practice and training camp before. He knows what they can do. He knows what they do. He knows their tendencies. He knows what makes them tick. So I think having Nikhil in our secondary is going to be huge. The Rams' other wide receivers, Ronald Woods, Josh Reynolds, Van Jefferson, all of these guys are balanced. Like I said, Cooper is one of Jared's favorite targets, but we can't be sleep on any of them, because they all are pretty balanced when it comes to their numbers and what they're able to do with the ball. Now, we have to watch out for the Rams' tight end action, because the Rams were one of the most tight end heavy teams last season when it comes to receptions compared to the Eagles. So we do have to watch out for the Rams' tight end, especially Gerald Everett, the tight end that is great at blocking. So we definitely have to be watch out for him and what he can do. But they do share the ball a lot when it comes to offense. Those guys all share the ball a lot. One thing we definitely gonna have to be watch out to, especially when it comes to Everett, his blocking abilities, is the jet sweep. They jet sweep the Cowboys out of there. They love the jet sweep, and the fact that they have such a great blocker in their tight ends just really elevates their jet sweep so much more. So we definitely have to be prepared for that play. We can't let them get that extra yardage by tricking us on the jet sweep. So we definitely have to be prepared there. So I know we talked about Cooper Kupp, but Robert Woods was the 13th ranked wide receiver last week. The Rams wide receiver. He was ranked 13th among wide receivers last year, and he's an extremely great blocker as well. So Jared Goff isn't just getting all that blocking from his offensive line. He's also getting help from, those guys in his wide receiver group and his tight end group. So that is something we definitely have to penetrate. We're going to have to put as much pressure on Goff as we can, because if we put the pressure on him, he will look just regular. We all know he's worked well with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay is he's like Sean McVay's Frankenstein. I don't know how, I shouldn't have made that comparison, but basically he's built for Sean McVay's system. Sean McVay's system is built for him, but if he is under pressure, he will look like nobody. But we definitely have to be on the lookout for Robert Woods. He was the 13th ranked receiver last week in week 1. Now let's talk about the Rams defense versus the Eagles offense. I'm not even gonna go in. We already know the Eagles offensive line had much trouble, but Lane Johnson and Miles Sanders are expected to return week 2, so that's a huge plus for the Eagles offense. Let's talk about the Rams defense. We all know Aaron Donald is a man among boys. Y'all saw the way he just picked up and threw Ezekiel Elliott out the way. So Miles, watch out. Don't let him scoop you like he scooped Zeke. Okay? But we already know Aaron Donald is someone to watch out for. Yes, Aaron Donald is a monster in the interior, but he is not the only one holding down the Rams defensive line. Leonard Floyd and Michael Brockers aren't scrubs either. Those are two guys that we're going to have to watch out for. And Isaac is supposed to be matching up with Aaron Donald on the interior. So we definitely have to watch out for Isaac Samalu, and definitely send prayers to him, guys. Send prayers to Isaac, because that's a very tough matchup he's going to have to come against. We got to keep Aaron off Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, we already know, is going to have to get rid of the ball. He can't take 8 more sacks, guys, because we all know his body is already got billions of band-aids on it. He can't take 8 more sacks if we want to keep Carson out. You guys know I want to see Jalen Hurts get involved. If we can get him involved week 2, lovely, great. Y'all already know I've done a billion videos. I want to see Jalen Hurts get involved. I think the packages and the plays that we'll be able to cook up with him will be pretty spectacular, very fun to watch, and I just don't want that second round talent on the bench for much longer. His second round pick, there's no reason why Jalen Hurts shouldn't be involved, but we already know they're going to put that pressure on Carson. That defensive line pressured Dak Prescott on 19 dropbacks. I want to say 33% of his plays were met with pressure, guys. So we can expect the defensive line of the Rams to try to mimic that and put that pressure on Carson, especially after they've seen what that did detrimentally for the Eagles in week 1. So we can't let them put all that pressure. We know they're going to try, but our offensive line is going to have to step up. Hopefully we have Lane back. Hopefully we have Miles back, so Boston doesn't have to carry all of that load. But we definitely cannot let them punk us out on the offensive front. We definitely have to hold our own on the offensive front, and everybody has to step up on the offensive line and in the quarterback position. So let's talk a little bit about defense, okay? Let's talk a little bit about, the secondary. So we all know Jalen Ramsey, and then they also have Darius Williams and Troy Hill in the slot at corner. These guys play a zone coverage defense. They didn't match up man-to-man when they were trying to slow down the Cowboys offense. They kept everything in front of them. They kind of used Jalen Ramsey as a barrier, so we can expect to see that as well. I don't know if they're going to play man, if they're going to play zone against us, but that zone is really what limited the Cowboys in scoring, because they didn't let them get those deep bomb plays. They made them dink and dive down the field. They made them dink and dive, which was better for the Cowboys because they had Ezekiel Elliott, of course, in the run game, which we don't have. Hopefully Miles is back, but we know Miles ain't no Zeke. But yeah, we can already expect them to try to play that same zone defense against us, since it works so well, limiting that three-headed monster that the Cowboys have in their wide receiver core. But whatever bombs, whatever deep plays we can get, we're gonna have to try to capitalize on. But I do think the dinking and diving or the short plays, they won't be that detrimental to us if we can just keep the momentum going and keep giving Carson time. The offensive line, we already know their defensive line is going to do whatever to take Carson out the game. So we're definitely going to have to, Carson's just going to have to not hold the ball as long. We already know that, but the offensive lines have to do a much better job of, y'all are professionals at the end of the day. Y'all are professional football players. Protect your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Protect your quarterback. So we definitely going to have to be on the lookout for that, and hopefully we get Jalen Hurts involved. I just don't like, you guys already know, I just don't like seeing that second round pick on the bench. So we definitely need to get Jalen Hurts, I think, involved, and we can come up with some fun, creative plays, because that is something that they're not game planning for, is Jalen Hurts being in the game. So that is something that we can exploit. But when it comes to Troy Hill in the slot, I won't say he's buns, but he missed a lot of tackles last game, and he's an okay slot corner. So whatever matchups we can expose on Troy Hill, we definitely going to have to expose him and capitalize off his lack of capitalize off his mistakes. Whether it's Jalen or Greg in the slot, we definitely going to have to capitalize off that Troy Hill matchup. And also when it comes to the linebacker group, Micah Kiser, he was pretty bad at linebacker last game. He missed a lot of tackles, so we definitely need to exploit that as well. Make him mess up, make him make mistakes. So we definitely going to have to look to exploiting Troy Hill and look to exploiting the matchups with Micah Kiser on the Rams defense. Hopefully have Miles Sanders back so we can get that running game going, get it, keeping the defense honest. Having that run game really keeps the defense honest. We really missed that a lot, not having Miles Sanders last game. So hopefully we can get that active on offense as well. John Hightower, he didn't have the best game last game, but hopefully, he can show more flashes of, good. I wouldn't say he was scrubs last game, but his first game out, no preseason. Hopefully John Hightower shows us something good. Hopefully Jalen Reagor continues to impress us, because I think he had a pretty good game last game. But it's definitely going to come down to avoiding those sacks. Like I said, their defensive front is not coming to play. They pressured Dak 33% of the time he was met with pressure, and we just have to be able to handle that pressure well. We all know Dallas Goedert. He had a great game last game. I don't know what Zach Ertz has going on. There's a lot of rumors, people saying, oh, Zach you know, he doesn't want to play, whatever. I don't know. You know, we gave Dallas a lot of targets and he did well with those targets, so we definitely want to keep him working in the game. We already know these opposing defense are going to be watching out for Dallas much more now that they know what we can do with him. So hopefully Dallas can get off this game. John Johnson is a safety we have to watch out for in the Rams secondary, so we definitely have to keep an eye out for him. Nikhil, whatever you know, like, make sure you telling us, make sure you telling the team whatever kind of insider information you got on the Rams. Make sure you're sharing it. We're going to need it. Hopefully we go up 2-0, guys, but these are my biggest takeaways. These are my biggest keys, of course, to winning the game. We definitely going to have to pressure Jared Goff. He was only pressured 8% of the time last game, and that is not okay. We definitely have to be looking out for that Rams defense. I'm telling you, they only held the Cowboys to 3 points in the second half, and that is a Cowboys offense that is fueled by so much talent, especially at the wide receiver position and the running back position. So we can't let them limit our scoring. We got to be prepared for that zone coverage. We got to be prepared for them trying to keep us on short routes, and we have to take advantage of those mismatches. I'm telling you, with Troy Hill, Micah Kaiser, and whatever we can do there. We can't let them surprise us with that jet sweep. On offense, we have to be prepared for it. Like I said, they have some great blockers on offense, and Robert Woods, and then their tight end is a great blocker as well, so we have to be prepared for those plays. We got to come out looking much better than we did in game 1. I know this sounds like a halftime talk. I'm no Doug Peterson, but I'm just telling you guys what I know, what little bit I know. But I'm definitely interested in seeing this matchup, guys. I have the Falcons in Dallas Cowboys week 2 matchup on my channel, so make sure you're checking that out. Make sure you're liking this video. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're subscribing. Subscribe, because I'm trying to get 500 subscribers by the end of the month. So yeah, stay tapped in. Let me know what you want to see in my next video. And until Sunday, bye.